Hi, this is Mark again, and welcome back to QM Kung Fu. In this video, we're going to be talking about a few of the Wing Chun short maxims or phrases. These ones aren't associated with any particular form, they're just sort of general principles which can guide your practice. And they're very important actually, because there's not a lot of literature or great books that have been written about it. It's not like the Tai Chi classics or anything like that for Wing Chun. It's just a series of short phrases to guide you on your Wing Chun journey with your teacher and your training partners. So the first one, retain what comes in and send off what goes. So it's not the best translation possibly. There's a few different variations on this from the Chinese. But it's a very, very important Wing Chun principle. Essentially, it's don't use force against force. When things come towards you, when somebody's throwing something at you, you retain it. You absorb. You don't try and push away when things come in. And when somebody retreats from you, you don't disengage, but you follow. Now this is one of the ones that maybe I'll do a practical video with some of the guys that come down here to the studio in Sutton. But the easiest example of this is if somebody grabs hold of you and tries to pull you, he's pulling you, he's retreating, right? So rather than trying to pull back against him, which is what most people do, you follow in. So he pulls you, and then you attack at the same time. Exactly the same as, if he pushes you, you turn. So you allow that push to turn you, and then you strike back with the other hand. So this is a very, very important principle. This is another good one. So timing is achieved through practice. So this is another short, simple principle. People think that timing is something that will just either you're born with, and some people have very good timing, or it's something that you can't really work on. I don't know where this idea comes from. Pretty much everything can be trained. Some things are harder to train than others, but you can very easily develop good timing. I've seen people even with very poor initial timing sense get quite good at this quite quickly if you drill it consistently and you work under a number of different conditions with a number of different partners. Pretty soon there's not that many things that people can do, right? We only have 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. Everyone's the same generally, right? So there's a limited number of movements that can come in, and after a while, once you've been training for a few years, you start to recognize these patterns and they become muscle memory, and then you develop timing and reflexes. Some people it takes longer than others, but it's always possible to do. Again, next one, this is so important, and I see so many people doing this badly. The body follows the movement of the hands. The waist and stance move together. This is so critical. So I see so many people, and you see it online, and they're up there and they're bam, 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 da, 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 da. It's they're all doing hand fu, or slap fu, or whatever you want to call it, right? This is hand against hand. So they're just playing to the opponent's hands. They're not playing to their opponent's body or to their center. So your body is following your hands, so this implies both to you and to your opponent. So your hands don't just do things by themselves. The body and the hands are connected intimately and together. They move together. And then the other thing is, you don't just play to your opponent's hands. If he throws out there, I don't necessarily need to block that. I'm going to attack at the same time. And then the second one, the waist and the stance move together. Now this is so important in Wing Chun, right? So in Wing Chun it's slightly different to Tai Chi. So you don't have this kind of like wave body thing going on like you do in Tai Chi. You have essentially a soft upper body and chest and relaxed, a strong, stable bridge hand, and then a strong and stable stance and root, and your waist moves your stance together as one unit, and it's a strong core, strong legs moving together as one unit, and that's where you derive your power and your structure from in Wing Chun. So it's very, very important that the waist and the stance are coordinated, and for so many people that is not the case. Right, okay, I think that's just 3. So these ones, there's a little bit more detail, so I'll take them slow and just add a few principles at a time. Alright, See you next time.